Okay.
And that when Renly dies, then Renly shows up looking like Robert used to look, and Lyanna's like, ooh.
Ooh, bae.
Ooh,
And then
my.
Renly looks over and sees Rhaegar and goes, oh, my.
Warning, the following show will spoil the hell out of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books and the TV show A Game of Thrones. Also, you're probably going to find a fuck ton of bad language. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Death and boobies, 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 death and boobies. Welcome back to the Ironwood Network Book Club. I am your host, Widow Wolfsbane. Here with me today is Maester Ironwood and Lady Wyvern. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
I won't yell the name of the chapter.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, I suppose. I mean, I'm not for nor against, so it's whatever.
I just think it's annoying as fuck.
Well, that's fair.
That and it scares the shit out of me because I don't expect it because he didn't used to do it. And he's done it for the last 3 chapters. So today I'm like watching him.
So I watch it, like, waiting for it to happen, like the Jack
and he goes to
do
whisper
it.
into the microphone, I'm not going to do it.
I will not be doing it today. This is Eddard 13.
There we go. He didn't yell into the microphone, he just whispered it. So for those of you that are slightly hard of hearing, he said that we're recording Eddard chapter 13 today, where our shady bastard friend here changes the words of the king and then has him sign an official document.
Yeah, the king's will and final will and testament.
Hell yeah.
Changes it.
Him and his honor.
I think this might also be, if I'm not mistaken, let me check the list. This might be the penultimate Eddard chapter.
Meaning?
Oh, really?
Meaning what?
No, I was incorrect. There are 2 more Eddard chapters.
Okay.
So the next chapter is the penultimate Eddard chapter.
What's that mean?
Next to last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm. So the next...
that means I have that written down in my notes that I already have the last Eddard chapter written on there, which is Eddard, which should be then Eddard 15.
So for his last
Yeah.
chapter, we need to have funeral music and the cold open.
We'll play a dirge.
Yeah. Can we do a
Play
Star Wars dirge?
One thing where we put like Amazing Grace, since like the Starks in the north is kind of modeled after the Celts.
So, like, Amazing Ned. Amazing
No, we're just gonna, gonna play the
How
music.
sweet
You're gonna sing Amazing
your
Ned
death.
for us. It's just too bad you lost your head.
See? It works. We can make our own Ned ballad. We can do that. All right.
I'm not singing.
You don't have to sing, it's fine. I'll find a choir of young school children, so it's really creepy in your ear.
I know of one who could do it really well.
That's true.
She's a minor, though. We can't make her do it.
But
We
she can
can't
volunteer.
make anybody do anything. But
Yeah, but she can
people-
volunteer for it, just fine.
People can volunteer to do whatever they want.
Be like, hey, here's a script. Can you read this? And now sing it.
I just gotta swing her by the studio for 5 minutes. She'll be like, oh, sweet!
So we should get something out of the way first, since we're quickly approaching the death of Eddard Stark.
Yes, very
I
quickly.
did, Ned.
The episode after Ned's dead will not be the following chapter.
Right.
It will be a retrospective on poor Eddard's life.
Yes.
So it's going to be a POV episode?
Kind of like a POV episode
Yeah.
where we just kind of like recap the highlights and lowlights of
Okay.
Ned Stark. But yeah, so I mean, we're going to kind of like, it'll be like an hour-long quick overview of Ned.
Okay, that's fair.
Not like we're not going to like go back through every Ned chapter and do every Ned chapter.
Oh,
No.
no, that'd be too much.
No, we're just going to do one episode and just talk about his
About Ned.
storyline.
Yeah, storyline, his
How
character
shitty his
development.
morality is and
His very short character development.
Yeah.
how unhonorable Ned is.
Ugh.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny, though, because before I started reading the books, when I was just watching the show, I loved Ned.
Do you not love Ned now?
I don't love him as much anymore. No.
I don't hate Ned.
I don't hate him either,
I
but
sort of nothing him.
you've said that before, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she said that about Theon.
I said
Oh.
about Theon. I nothing Theon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I nothing Ned too. Like, I don't dislike him. Like his
No,
his death
I
isn't different to
like him,
me.
but he's just, I think he did a lot of the wrong things for the right reason, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he makes a lot of stupid decisions, which we will see in this chapter which I will discuss probably at length about the stupid things that he does that he should literally just be smarter than. But because Stark apparently is synonymous with dumb, apparently he can't tell.
Rock on.
Yeah.
All right. So, getting back to Eddard 13.
Eddard 13.
Who wants to give us a brief synopsis of Eddard?
Probs you.
Me?
Yeah.
Me? You don't want to do it?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Nope.
Not feeling it?
I'm never feeling it. I'm not good enough yet.
All right. So, we start out, Ned is dreaming about being in the crypts of Winterfell, because apparently all the Starks dream about that. And the Kings of Winter and the direwolves are not happy with him, because they're snarling at him.
Snarls.
They snarls at him. Mm-hmm. And he's woken up by his house guard and told that the king is back and demands to see him, or needs to see him. So he gets dressed in fancy clothing in the middle of the night and heads down to Maegor's Keep in the middle of the Red Keep to see the king. And the king is lying in bed, having been run through by a boar.
Indeed. Dying
on his deathbed, surrounded by Cersei and Varys and Renly and Sir Barristan and Maester Pycelle.
Sir Barristan's guarding the door.
Guarding the door, correct. And Robert regales him with the story of how the boar got him, but then he got the boar back because he stabbed it in the fucking eye because he's a badass, apparently.
He is a badass, because Renly even says he's being eviscerated.
Yeah. Renly's like, we had no idea how he did it, but he managed to stab that fucker right in the goddamn eye.
Yep.
After it gored him and ripped him
bowels
apart.
Hanging out and everything.
Yep.
Stabs it in the eye.
Yep.
They're probably too shocked to actually step in and do anything at that point.
Yeah, at that point, I'd be like, they don't even know what they're looking at that point.
So, Robert kicks everybody out but Ned, because he has to have a private word with Ned, and proceeds to dictate to Ned his last will and testament, which Ned secretly changes the wording of without telling the king, and then has the king sign it, and then furthers the conspiracy by then having Sir Barristan and Renly come in and verify that the king is stamping it closed with his own seal.
Well, Robert says that someone has to come in and witness.
Ned says it.
Oh, does Ned say it?
Somebody should witness the stamping, the closing. So to further the conspiracy, he gets Renly and Sir Barristan involved in the nonsense going on with...
Barristan's so noble.
Yes and no.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We learn lots more about Sir Barristan later on, but whatever. I mean, he doesn't ever come off as a bad guy. We'll leave it like that. But
that's fair.
And so they witness the closing of the last will and testament, and then they all leave, and Pycelle gives Robert the milk of the poppy and knocks him out. Mm-hmm. Not in that order. He doesn't like to knock him out.
No, with the sack of bricks?
No, just with the milk of the poppy.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And Renly has a hush-hush conversation with Ned.
Super secret.
Yep.
What about Varys?
Oh, well, they have a... Yeah, well, Varys is like... Varys just knows apparently everything that's already happened. Like, he apparently already knows how Robert was poisoned and died and all that good stuff, because he's like, oh, Sir Lancel, what a good young lad what a good young lad to make sure that his king was never without refreshment.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Robert was drunk, of course.
Stumbling off his damn horse, could barely stay mounted. Yeah,
but Ned's like, I don't trust Varys anyway, so I'm not going to bother. Robert says that he was wrong about Daenerys, and Ned shouldn't kill her.
Yes.
Ned's like, really? You think so? Robert's like, yeah, I think it was the gods' justice on me that I tried to kill her, and so they killed me. So he wised up.
Was that seriously?
People normally do on their deathbed.
Yep. And so as Renly and Eddard are leaving, Renly discusses certain things with him in hushed tones about how he has 30 personal guard and can get up to 100 men for him and Eddard to seize Joffrey.
And that's right now.
Right now, and take him away from his mother because he who controls the king controls the realm. And since Eddard has been made protector of the realm and the regent, which Renly also guesses happened, then he would be able to rule in Joffrey's stead, have Joffrey be his ward, and raise him to be maybe a decent person. I mean, probably not, but, you know,
can try.
It's a thought.
Yeah.
And Eddard's like, nope, don't like it. Not a good idea. So we're just going to let Cersei run shit because I'm a moron.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to deal with that. So then he returns home after sending Renly away, which I think is dumb mistake number 2 of the chapter. First one's changing the king's words.
Oh. I thought there was a third one in there somewhere already.
Well, not yet, but there's going to be. And so when he gets home, he tells the house guard leader to make sure that when he takes Sansa and Arya away the next day, that they stop by Dragonstone, and he delivers a letter personally to Stannis, and only to Stannis, into his hands directly, where Ned outlines everything about Joffrey and Tommen and Marcella being bastards, and that Stannis should come back to King's Landing with his entire fucking army, and take the throne, which is rightfully his, even though nobody likes Stannis.
Stannis the Manus.
And probably should be Renly, but Stannis is the true heir, so...
Nobility states I should have to do this way.
Yeah, and then he fucking, for some reason, wants to speak to Littlefinger. Mistake number 3.
Yeah.
And proves to be the fatal one.
Mm-hmm.
So he has Littlefinger roused. If he's not asleep, then drag him out of whatever fucking hole he's in. Whatever drunken, card gambling, whore-infested hole he's in. So Littlefinger comes over, and they reach a mutually assured destructive agreement with each other. Even though Littlefinger's like, you should probably make sure that Joffrey's the king and then be in control of Joffrey instead of letting Stannis be king because nobody likes Stannis. And Stannis is going to throw my ass out of King's Landing because he doesn't like me.
I want to keep my job, he says.
Yeah, and Ned's like, that's not how honor works, fuck off.
Yeah, Ned. All about the honor. Except for when he's not.
Yeah. Only when it's convenient for him.
So he's like,
well, it's not really convenient for him either.
Yeah, so Littlefinger's like, alright, fine, what do you want me to do? He's like, well, I need the city watch. Because they have 2,000 swords.
The gold cloaks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Littlefinger's like, I mean, sure, if we pay the city guard 6,000 gold, 2,000 for the commander, 2,000 for the officers, 2,000 for the men, then I'm sure that they'll follow your lead, since I'm paying them to follow your lead and protect you, and blah, blah, blah. And for some reason, Ned believes him.
That's not what he said, though. He said they'll follow the person
who pays them. Right.
And Littlefinger has already stated that he's going to pay them.
Well, he is the one who pays them, because he's the master of coin.
Yep.
And
which is Ned's first mistake.
Yeah, so Ned doesn't get the hint. No, it's his 4th mistake.
That's his 4th mistake.
Yeah. And believing that Littlefinger is going to have the city guard protect Ned.
Yeah.
And help him enforce the king's justice with the letter that he has, the king's last will and testament that he fucking forged. Oh,
Ned.
Ned,
you dumb bastard.
And so that's where we leave off, is with an uneasy partnership between Littlefinger and Ned. The last person in the entire fucking world that Ned should be trusting is the person that he's trusting and putting his fucking life in the hands of.
Yep.
Because Ned Stark is a fucking idiot.
It's not like he's married to Littlefinger's, hope to be betrothed or anything, that he would totally kill him to get Cat back in his life.
Yeah, it's not like Littlefinger has any kind of motivation whatsoever to be rid of Ned Stark.
Yeah. No, not at all.
And so that's the end of the chapter. So, synopsis over.
That's a long-ass synopsis.
It was a long-ass synopsis.
There's a lot of points.
I'm glad you did it, because it would have taken her an hour.
It's true. It would have taken me like an hour. There would have been a significantly more swearing in it, too.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do the synopsis without swearing.
I can do without the fuck your face, so.
But I love fuck your face. It's my favorite term.
It's her favorite Pornhub channel.
I know it is.
It might as well be. Just put that up, please. Put that on tab or whatever. What is it?
On tab?
Put on speed, like speed dial, but like the fast click or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know.
I don't use any of that shit.
Ow.
So, who has something, preferably at the beginning of the chapter, that they would like to discuss?
Well, I can tell you, I don't have any weather for this chapter. So there's that.
That's such a fucking shame.
I'm pretty sure, Maester, you want to talk about the fact that the Starks are all dreaming about the crypts, and he's now dreaming about the crypts.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that first paragraph there, which is Ned Eddard dreaming about the crypts of Winterfell.
Can you please not today? Just call him Ned or call him Eddard. Don't combine the two. Don't add extra Eddards in there. Please.
But I need it.
No, you don't.
I do.
She needs it.
Just call him Ned for one chapter, please.
I'm going to call him Eddard.
That's fine.
We'll call him Ned or only Eddard for the next chapter. How about that? I'm gonna guess by the salty look you just gave me that you totally get. I love you.
I love you too. Knock your shit off.
Alright, so Eddard is dreaming a dream of walking through the crypts of Winterfell.
Yes.
Like many of the Starks have in recent chapters.
Including Jon.
Yes, have any of his Tully children had crypt dreams? Or do they ever in the future? That's what I'm curious.
That's a big no.
Oh. But they have Stark blood in them. That's my thing. I was like, they have Stark blood.
Right, but... Okay, so here's the thing.
Because they all have the warging thing, which is a Stark thing.
Right, so they all have Stark blood.
Yeah.
But if it's... So...
If the gods know they're not true Starks.
Right, so here's the thing, right? So Ned is a true Stark.
I didn't think I was that close to it, sorry.
Ned is a true Stark.
Mm-hmm.
He is the Lord of Winterfell. And has Crypt Dream.
Yes.
The only other character we see with Crypt Dreams... Well, actually, Bran has Crypt Dreams, too.
Okay.
But that's because the three-eyed evil crow...
Took him there.
...is trying to get him down there.
Oh.
But he's scared to go down there.
He's scared to go down there. But he does go down there.
Hodor doesn't even want to go down there.
One time. Only one time does Hodor not want to go down there.
I say, Hodor doesn't even want to go down there when Bran's like, let's go!
George has specifically said that it's only that one time that Hodor has a problem with going into the crypts. He's fine going into the crypts any other time, except that one time when the crow is in the crypts trying to get Bran to come into the crypts.
Evil!
Right, so the thought is that Hodor senses the evil presence of the three-eyed crow down there.
So, for any of our SpongeBob fans, I'm going to go ahead and throw out a Mermaid Man reference. There's evil afoot! I know, you don't get it.
There's a foul platypus afoot.
I like the platypus one better.
I like the platypus one better, too. I
think
there's a lot of people our age that like SpongeBob.
No,
I don't like SpongeBob.
Can't do it. Thank God that shit's done.
I don't really care for it that much, Big Give or Take, but I do like some parts of it. Some of it's funny.
Anyway.
Other parts I'm like, eh.
Anyway.
But Jon did have Crypt Dreams.
Jon has a Crypt Dream. Several Crypt Dreams, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, if you would imagine that Robb...
Would you say it's the most magical of the Stark children that have Crypt Dreams?
That's entirely possible.
Does Arya ever have one? Because she's kind of not... That we know of?
Well, because Nymeria didn't hang around long.
Oh.
But she becomes very magical in the fact that, like, she becomes a two-faced man and just has, like, I'm assuming...
faceless man.
Thank you. I don't know why I said a two-faced man.
But she has the ability not only... So, like, most faceless men, like, they can swap their faces.
Yeah.
Arya has the ability that when she swaps a face, like, her body, like, transmogrifies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not all of... Like, I would imagine not all of them have that ability to change complete size and shape and everything, which gives her...
More of an advantage
and a more magical edge the way Jon and Bran have.
Which is one of the reasons why I think that Rose of Red Lake is quite possibly the mother of House Stark. because she had the ability to completely transform herself into a swan.
Okay.
But that's for another conversation.
But that's for completely other conversations.
And a whole other YouTube video?
Possibly.
Somebody already has a YouTube video.
There's already videos about that, but yeah, I
Okay.
think she's quite possibly the mother of House Stark.
Okay.
I also think that she is possibly half Child of the Forest.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure that the Starks have Child of the Forest blood.
Mm-hmm.
And her father, Garth Greenhand, definitely at least had one child with a giantess. So it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility that he would also have a child with a Child of the Forest.
Yeah.
So he was into bestiality.
Well, it's not really bestiality. I mean, they're humanoids. Like, he wasn't like banging like bulls. I mean, he was even with other humanoid life forms, like a giant.
Okay.
And also possibly a Child of the Forest. Pretty sure the Reeds also have mated with Children of the Forest in their past as well. Okay. So, but
that's a bit off topic.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But that's one of the reasons why I think that she actually is Mother of House Stark, is because she had the ability to completely change her body. And it's something that Arya could have picked up through that bloodline.
Okay.
Lucky her.
Yeah. Works out.
It helps her out a lot, because then she's not, like, just having the face on a different body. Like, she has
and they're like, I remember Walder Frey being a bit taller than that.
Well, that's the TV show.
I know.
well, in the show, he wasn't short, though. Like, when she was playing him, well, she was also sitting down in that scene,
it was also
I guess,
him.
too. Yeah, it was also, yeah, so, like,
they had him play that part.
Yeah.
He played Arya playing him.
Yeah. But, like...
But that's the show and not the book.
But it shows...
And Filch knocked it out of the park in that scene.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, yeah, Ned's dream. There's some pieces of symbolism in here that I want to talk about.
Would one of them be the blue roses?
Well, there's blue roses, but there's also something else blue.
Oh,
if you read very carefully, the statues of the kings, it says very clearly, the kings of winter stared at him with ice blue eyes.
Oh, with eyes of ice. Huh. Why?
Well, because what else has eyes of ice? Blue ice eyes.
The others?
The others. So we're getting a very clear correlation here between specifically the kings of winter and the others.
Why?
So is one of the kings of winter turned into another?
Or were the kings of winter perhaps like the first others?
So they were zombies?
Is that possible? I mean, there's... well, we don't know the answer. We're posing possibilities because there's definitely a correlation drawn here with the eyes. But it's specifically the kings of winter.
Yes.
Right, so we learn in a later chapter with Theon...
It's not the lords of
that there's a distinction between in the statues between the kings of winter and those who were lords of Winterfell after Theon Stark knelt.
Okay.
So this says specifically that the kings of winter...
Theon Stark?
There was a Theon Stark.
There was a Theon Stark.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why? What? Really?
Yeah.
You forget, this is only as far as she's read in the book.
But it wasn't Theon Stark who's the one who knelt, it was Torrhen. Torrhen Stark is the one who knelt.
Okay.
But yes, there was a Theon Stark.
There was a Theon Stark. Okay.
But yes.
Shit. The things you learn. Mm-hmm. Should we start with my head? The more you know.
So we get a very clear correlation between the old Kings of Winter and the others here with the ice blue eyes.
Some people would say it's a reach. I would only because I don't know enough about the series yet.
Well, I mean, all you have to have read is the prologue and this paragraph. Because everything we know about the others comes from the prologue.
That's all there is about the others?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Have we gone past any other things about the others yet?
No, I'm talking about in the rest of the books so far.
I mean, we get little bits and pieces, but not much at all. I mean, we don't really see the others except for that first prologue.
Do we get in this book Samwell Tarly saying something about 1 blow for Rangers, 2 for Wildlings, and 3 for the others?
Not in this book.
Okay. I wasn't sure, because he does say it in the first season of the show.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't remember.
And then they're like, how do you know that? And he's like, I read it in a book once. How's Samwell? I read it in a book once.
Yeah.
Because he's not in the Tarleys anymore.
No.
Okay. So yeah, the ice blue eyes interested me because especially since, remember, we had at the Tower of Joy, we had the ice blue petals of the roses flying around, looking like ice blue eyes on a red background.
Yes.
Okay. And Lyanna's also wearing a necklace of blue roses.
A necklace of blue roses. And for some reason, her eyes are weeping blood.
Is it blood or is it just, did they just say red?
It just says her eyes were weeping blood.
Yeah,
her eyes wept blood.
Yeah. So I was looking into the symbolism specifically of that, and a lot of it is like Mary symbolism from our world. But I found in a couple places for like dreams specifically, like those like dream interpreting sites, that weeping blood in a dream has to do with emotional turmoil and needing support.
Okay. There's that. What else in this chapter weeps blood? Or in this book weeps blood?
The Weirwood Trees, which is a support network.
The Weirwood Tree.
Well, I'm just saying, it is. It's a support network. It's not...
Fuck, no. It's not even a little bit.
It's a tree network. They all see each other.
It's a network, but it's not a support network.
They eat people. It's not a support anything.
They eat people? Well, they're supported on the blood of people.
No.
That's a reach.
No.
That is a reach.
No. Just no.
They're a network. They're not a support network.
Just no, not even. No. So yes, Weirwood trees also weep blood.
Yes.
And there's a big Weirwood tree just outside of Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In the Godswood.
Yep.
With roots that most likely go down into somewhere around the crypts.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
That would make sense, yeah.
So I wonder if they feed people to the Weirwood tree in the crypts.
I don't know if they feed people to the Weirwood tree.
Maybe they didn't do it intentionally?
Maybe they did do it intentionally. Remember
Well, maybe they intentionally put the bodies...
We're drawing a correlation between the Kings of Winter and the others.
That's
maybe
true.
they do it intentionally.
Well, I wonder if maybe they put them under the tree intentionally, but they didn't know that the corpses were specifically going to feed it, and that's what the tree needed.
Maybe they did.
And it just became maybe the first couple people did, but then it became a tradition, and they don't know why they're doing it. That's just how it works.
Well, that's entirely possible that they don't really understand now, but, I mean...
But aren't the crypts made of stone, not made of earth?
It doesn't matter. The Weirwood tree can grow through stone, that's fine.
I can just imagine having a root in every tomb.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's creepy.
And maybe, like, every crypt is like a Weirwood throne, like...
Yeah.
Like, the raven.
Mm-hmm. The three-eyed raven?
No, the three-eyed crow is the bad people.
Okay.
The raven is in his Weirwood throne that we meet later with Brandon.
Oh, that's right.
With Bran. That maybe the crypts of Winterfell work much the same way. With the dead Starks.
That's interesting.
There you go.
But yeah, what we can ascertain here is that the Kings of Winter and their direwolves are definitely mad at Ned for something.
Mm-hmm.
Probably endangering the line.
That's entirely possible. That it's endangering the line. Most people believe that it's because he buried Lyanna and Brandon down there.
Right, but then if that was the case, then wouldn't he have had this dream before?
We don't know if he's had it. We don't know if he's had it before or not.
Right. Well, I'm assuming if he had it before, George would have said something like a familiar dream or...
It's entirely possible, yeah.
So, does Winterfell only have the one crypt then? Because mostly...
It's a giant crypt, and...
It, like, goes under all of Winterfell or something like that.
Massive, and...
So then it would have, like, different areas for different people, whereas, like, the kings would be buried in one spot, and the kings and lords that sat on the high chair.
Nobody else is supposed to be down there.
No, it's only for the people that run Winterfell.
I was like, because in my mind, like, in history, in general, most people are buried in crypts. It's done by family. Like, it doesn't matter who you are.
No, it's just who's ever running Winterfell
is the only one allowed in the crypts.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And there are two people down there who technically shouldn't be. Three. There's three?
There's another person buried down there who wasn't a Lord of Winterfell either, but it was a long time ago. It's a long story.
Okay.
He's also buried down there.
Okay, but Lyanna and I want to say
Brandon.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say Brendan. Brandon are buried down there with Ned's father.
Right.
I feel like
Brandon has a case to be down there because, if I'm not mistaken,
his dad technically died before him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
His dad technically died before him when Brandon choked himself trying to get to his sword to cut his dad down.
Yes.
We don't know specifically the order, but he was being burned alive, so probably died first, and therefore, technically, at that point,
would become the
Brandon
Lord.
became the Lord of Winterfell.
So for all of 3 minutes before he died.
Long it was, right, but still Lord of Winterfell.
Yeah.
So technically he belongs down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Lyanna doesn't. One, because she's female. Two, because she never ran the place.
I feel like maybe even if he wasn't the Lord of Winterfell, like Brandon was the first in line to be the next Lord.
Doesn't matter.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
Lords of Winterfell and Kings of Winter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So... But yeah, that's what most people think is the reason that the Crips are mad at Ned, is because he buried 2 people down there who shouldn't be. I don't really buy that.
I feel like most Ned people give a shit. They're probably happy that since Lyanna's there, it's not a sausage fest anymore. Just saying.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, dead guys like chicks too.
Yeah, but they're all related.
So? Still not a sausage fest.
Ask the Targaryens all about
that. This is my great-great-great-great-granddaughter.
Let's bang her.
That's creepy as fuck. That's really disrespectful to the dead.
But so that's what most people think is the reason that the Crips are mad at Ned.
Mm.
I think that there are competing theories as to why. I mean, I don't have one specifically that I think is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that if Jon is his true-born heir, then the Crips are mad at Ned because he broke the line of succession, which is a good reason for the former Kings of Winter to be mad. Mm-hmm. It's also possible that the Kings of Winter are mad at everybody after starting at Torrhen Stark and after because they fucking bent the knee like little bitches.
Yeah, like what if every Lord of Winterfell has had these dreams and Ned's the only one that we know about?
Right, exactly.
Exactly,
right,
yeah.
Because ever since Torrhen Stark, they weren't Kings of Winter, they were Lords of Winterfell, which means that they were pussy-ass bitches who bent the knee to the Targaryens instead of being men as hard as the land that they ruled who bent the knee to no man.
Yeah.
So it's
a good point.
Yeah, so that's entirely a possible reason that it's just they're always mad at the Starks for the last 300 years.
Which would make perfect sense.
Not that it's anyone's fault in the last 200 and some odd years, but...
Well, they didn't reestablish themselves until Robb as Kings in the North.
Yeah. And Robb probably shouldn't have been the person to do it if he's not a Stark.
Not
that they know.
Stark. Right, exactly.
So,
if that theory,
but yeah,
that's
one potential reason why. I don't know is that it's as simple as he put Lyanna down there, so the Crips are mad at him.
I don't think for something that trivial they would care.
I mean, I don't think it's trivial. You think about you're talking 8,000 years of history of who's buried down there.
Yeah,
not exactly a trivial matter, but
that's true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. But yeah, so Ned has the Crypt Dream, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. I like the tie-in there with the ice eyes between the others and the Starks, the Kings of Winter.
Yeah. And Lyanna and her pale blue roses, which also I think is just also another direct tie back to his fever dream. Because he just has that direct tie to her and the winter roses.
Yeah, the winter roses symbolize Lyanna, no doubt.
Okay.
Well, the winter roses are the flower of the north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's like a symbolic representation of the women of the Stark family.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Which also makes sense which also is another reason why I think Rose of Red Lake is the mother of House Stark.
Because hers was the Rose?
First her name is Rose. Mm-hmm. Second of all, her name to begin with was Rose of Blue Lake.
Oh.
Until a battle occurred at Blue Lake where so many children of the forest were killed by Brandon of the Bloody Blade that they renamed it Red Lake.
Yeah.
And she became Rose of Red Lake. So.
I have heard you say something about that before, too.
Yes.
So,
it's plausible.
A little sad.
Yep.
Sad shit happens in this series, though.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever.
It's true.
But, anyway, that's a little bit I wanted to discuss about.
Just a little bit.
The Crips and just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Yep, just
Ed
the tip.
wakes up from his dream.
He has a...
If I have to call him Eddard or Ned, you have to at least call him Eddard or Ned. You can't just call him Ed.
Oh, sorry, Ned.
Because his name's not Ed.
I know.
Yeah. And then he weak and wearily wakes in the middle of the night to a stranger knock, 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 and rasping on his door.
He's butt-ass naked.
I mean, most people sleep that way.
Back then, the guys, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, a lot of them slept in the nightgowns, too. But he has the fucked up leg, so I wouldn't want to dick around with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the king has demanded his presence.
Yes.
So the king is home.
The king is home.
Yep.
So, and then they're like, alright, well, now you need to go see Robert, because Robert said so.
Yep.
And he's like, oh my god, he's back, yeah, I have to go tell him about Cersei and all this shit, and then, gets, I was all gung-ho about it, and they're like, whoa, calm down, he's not doing so hot.
Put some clothes on.
I don't think they didn't, there was nothing on anyone's face to make it look like he was in dire
Ned has no idea
anything.
Until he gets to there.
And then he sees,
and he walks in the room, and it's like...
Well, he sees it on the guard's face.
He sees it on Sir Barristan Selmy's face.
Yeah, that's his face.
His face was as pale as his white armor.
Yes.
So he knew something was up before he walked in.
Yeah. And then he walks in, and he's, smashed in the face with, sweltering hot, oppressive heat.
Yep.
In his room.
And it smells like death and earth.
Yeah, it smells like rot and stuff.
Yeah. But Robert's cold.
Robert's freezing, but, that couldn't be from the massive blood loss and the death that's happening right now.
The infection that he has.
Yeah. So,
they're trying to keep him warm.
Yes.
Yes, there's a gajillion degrees in there.
But
they could literally light a fire under him, and he would still not feel warm.
Yeah, there's people in there just standing around forging swords.
Yeah.
That's how hot it is in there.
Yeah. And they're like, close that door, you're pulling a draft in, you bastard!
Yeah, it's... Oh, wait,
and
they
Ned
always get really cold when they die.
Mm-hmm.
And Ned can tell something's wrong when he hears Robert's voice, because it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's too weak.
Strangely thick is what he called it.
Strangely thick. So...
Thick with death.
Well, it doesn't say thick with death, it just says thick.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I say it's thick with death.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought it was weak. It's not weak. Well, he has a moment of, having a weak voice.
Well, later on, but he yells out to Ned with a strong voice.
Yeah.
But it's a thick voice, so Ned knows something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then he notices Barristan Selmy's face, which is as white as his white armor.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes in, and there's a few people in there. We got Cersei, we've got Maester Pycelle, we've got Renly.
Yes.
Yep. And Robert's lying in bed.
With his boots still on.
Yep, with his boots still on.
Covered in a blanket.
Covered in a blanket.
There's a green tunic cut up on the floor, covered in blood red stains.
Yep.
Or brown.
Brown.
They're all brown and dried and old.
So they're rust-colored stains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And apparently it took them 2 days to
get
him back from after being gored. It took them 2 days to get him back to the castle.
That must have been a rough ride home.
Well,
his intestines keep falling out.
Ambulances and shit.
I know, but I feel... I know that they were far away to begin with too, but I feel like I don't know.
They also had to take it slow because it was probably hurt them too much.
Yeah,
and they don't exactly carry
how...
milk of the poppy with them when they go horseback riding or hunting.
I feel like they should.
No, but they didn't take a maester, so...
Yeah, they did. Yeah, but I'm wondering on the way back, I'm wondering how far out they actually were, because it took them 2 days to get him back.
Yeah.
And we all know that they're not going to just, jostle him around the entire time and, fucking
I would assume
gallop
somewhere
back.
in, the range 10 miles. Because at a comfortable pace, you could do 5 miles a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a comfortable pace, pulling a cart with a body in it, you could probably keep that pace up for 5 miles a day.
Yeah. And they probably had to make him one of the... Can't remember what it's called, but they probably had to make him a stretcher to lay him on and hold him between the horses.
No, they had his carriage.
They had his carriage. He has that big giant carriage house. That's like the fucking
He's not gonna
the night bus.
Take that hunting.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he'd have a horse for when he goes out.
This is Robert.
He doesn't sleep in a tent.
He hates the carriage house.
Yeah, but he brought Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey's a whiny bitch. Joffrey would have bought... Well, Joffrey came back early, so Joffrey probably would have brought the carriage house back with him.
No, him and Sandor would have ridden.
Well, he's not going to sleep on the ground, so he probably brought the carriage house so he could sleep in it.
Yeah, he probably had some sort of carriage.
I feel like Robert would sleep on the ground because he likes to fucking roughneck it like he's still 20 years old.
Yeah, but I don't think
he thinks he's still 20 years old and could do it.
Okay, well, there's no mention of the damn carriage.
Look, they obviously brought something because you have 20 fucking people, you need supplies for all of them, so there's fucking something that a body will fit in.
That's fair.
So, there.
That's fair.
Are we done?
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're hunting. I figured they would hunt. I'm thinking like a small party hunting though.
Yeah, no, it's just not like 2-3 people. There's 20-some people.
We had like Joffrey and Renly and the King's Guard.
Got like 20 people. Okay.
And Renly probably brought some of his guards, and and Sander and Joffrey and all that shit.
Well, they don't have because they came back way too early.
And everybody, like Renly would have his squires, and Robert had his squires, and all that shit. At
first, I thought it took them longer to get home because the Lannisters were probably stalling, but Renly was with them, and there were other Baratheon household people with them. So
Sir Barristan Selmy was with them.
So they didn't want it to look like they were taking their sweet ass time to get them
home.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, so
I feel like they wouldn't have stopped though. Like they would.
Well, no,
whatever horses
rode through the night.
Yeah, whatever horses were. No,
they probably rode through the night.
If you have the king bleeding to death, you don't stop for 10 hours to take a nap.
Well, I didn't say 10 hours. They probably took like an hour to rest the horses.
They probably didn't even do that. They probably just would switch the horses around on the carriage to get fresh horses on the carriage and keep them going.
To be honest, if they weren't pushing the horses and they were going at a pace that was safe to transport Robert at, they may not have even had to switch the horses around.
That would work too.
Except for like maybe once.
Because they're not Catelyn Tully trying to fucking kill the horses through the high road.
Right, exactly. Like, they weren't going at that kind of speed.
Yeah.
I'm certain.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so, I mean, they obviously had something to carry a body in. Carry him in. A wagon of some sort.
Yeah.
Whether it's a full-on carriage house or just a wagon. Because you're not taking food and drink and supplies and armor and outfits and all that shit for 20 fucking people in a day pack.
That's okay.
Probably had a big tent that needed to be carried on something as well.
Yeah, so it wouldn't just fit on like a
right, because the king's not going to like stay in like a pop tent, like a little like 1-person camping tent.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking like a general's tent with like a bed in there and shit like that.
Yeah,
so,
and they have to have something to carry the bed and everything,
and the braziers and everything. So,
see, I'm thinking like camping.
No,
not
I'm thinking.
glamping.
He's the king. He glamps.
I'm thinking like a Roman general's tent where you walked in and there was the bed
and it's got like a fucking canopy in the outside, and a hammock on
and
it.
There was braziers in there and the whole 9 yards, like Tywin's tent later on that we see.
Okay,
same idea. There's no way that Tywin has a better tent than the king.
Or justice.
I mean, maybe he's fucking richer than the king, obviously.
Well, yeah, but the king still has to have the best of everything because he's the king, and it's good to be the king.
True point.
Yeah, so...
True point. It is good to be the king.
So unless he had Hermione's tent...
It was actually the Weasleys' tent.
Well, the tent that they borrowed. The Weasleys borrowed it.
Yeah, and then Hermione stole it.
You're right. Well, she borrowed it.
Yeah.
So unless they had that tent, unless they had the Weasleys' tent... They needed something pretty good size to carry all that shit in.
Have everybody on the... Alright. Okay. I'm good with this.
Word. Excellent.
Yeah.
Controversy solved.
Indeed.
Love
Indeed.
it.
That was the 20-minute conversation I didn't think we would need to have.
I'm just saying, like, I figure since Robert's like, let's fucking roughneck this shit and, like, disappear in the world together and fuck all these people. Like, I figure, like, the motherfucker would actually, like,
I
he'll
think
do it with Ned.
That's his plan with Ned.
Yeah, I figure, like, the motherfucker would actually be ballsy enough to be like, alright, go sleep on the ground and I use my saddle as a goddamn pillow. Fuck all y'all. Apparently not.
God, he probably brought whores along with him. Joffrey, we're gonna go man out of you yet.
Yeah. Alright, Joffrey kills a bunch of them.
Playing the hunting game.
Yeah.
Ned looks to see the damage. He's split from groin to nipple, sliced right up the middle. And they tried to sew him together
as best they could,
but his skin is already rotting off. His intestines are falling out.
Yeah, they didn't have a Maester.
Just reeks.
They didn't have a Maester or a Septon.
Yep. So he went septic real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not take very long, especially with a bacteria-ridden boar tusk.
Yeah.
Well, that and because he was fighting him with his entrails on the ground, so who knows what he picked up on the ground, let alone what the boar poked him with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Disgusting.
You can literally just get E. coli from the dirt.
In this world, once you get an infection, you're pretty much dead because they don't have any cylinders.
No, yeah, the only thing they can do is they can cut away the rot, and that's it.
Yeah. The fucking thing, what they do for injuries like this is they fucking boil wine. That's
which is
not
fair. It's going to kill some bacteria.
Not enough of it.
Well, I understand that.
I mean, what they need is vodka.
That didn't exist back then.
I know.
No, they have.
That's what I'm saying, though. But they need vodka or tequila.
There's no antibiotics. There's no sterile. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They have wine and milk for the poppy.
Yep. Exactly.
I can't imagine somebody putting a bandage covered in boiled wine on me. I'd fucking kill them.
So here's the other thing, too, is that wine is incredibly high in sugar.
Yes.
Which is why it's sweet. And that's not going to prevent infection. It's going to make it worse.
Yes.
Because it literally gives you sugar for the bacteria
to feed on
right.
and get stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas vodka vodka is just like 90% fucking alcohol and will just denature all the bacteria cells and they'll just break open.
Yeah. It'll burn like a fucker.
It'll burn like a fucker, but you won't get an infection from it.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't burn your skin off.
So, Robert is not in good shape.
No.
Whatsoever. I mean, not that he was in good shape before, but...
Ned's pissed. He's like, why did you let this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ned's fucking throwing a fit. And they're like, dude.
Drunken
super.
He told us to stand aside and he would take care of this, even though he couldn't even get off his horse without stumbling.
Right. And Ned knows how Robert hunts, where Robert will wait, he'll get the boar to charge and he'll just wait and wait and wait. At the last minute, just bam, kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ned knows how he hunts.
But he was way too drunk to even hunt that way.
Yeah.
Too drunk, but...
missed his thrust.
You know, as Ned says later in the chapter, not even the best of knights can save the king from himself.
That is yes.
To Barristan, because poor Barristan's blaming himself and Robert, and he's like, don't worry, Robert already said it's his own damn fault.
Yeah, it was the alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the king's already, he's accepted he's gonna die.
Oh yeah, he's like, I can smell the death in the room.
He's like, I brought the board back. Serve it at the feast.
Yeah.
Fucking eat this bitch.
Yeah, serve it at the funeral.
I want everyone to eat this goddamn boar.
Yep. Choke on it for all I care. Just eat the damn thing.
Yep. So it must be a pretty good sized beast.
I would think so.
Well, yeah. You saw the picture I posted on Twitter last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that size.
Huge.
That was a Russian boar, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a boar over in Russia.
I thought it was Australia.
So, Robert kicks everyone out of the room, including Cersei. Cersei's eyeing Ned because
she don't want to leave.
Yeah, she don't know what Ned's gonna tell Robert.
Right, because she's fresh off that conversation with Ned in the fucking Godswood.
Yep.
Where he's like, "Oh, I'm going to tell the king all about how you be fucking Jaime, and how your kids are Jaime's, and how they're not his."
I like how Ned pointed out that her hair looked tousled. What's the word? Tousled. As if she'd been sleeping, but she was wide awake. Now, could that be from the quote-unquote stress of having her husband
that's because that's because Lancel came back.
Yeah, or because she was just having sex and she was summoned.
It's because Lancel came back.
But if she knew
she's not banging Lancel at this point.
No.
Oh, she's not banging Lancel yet?
No.
Because Jamie's left. He went to Castle of the Rock.
She could be having sex with anybody.
That's true.
No.
She could have been banging one of her handmaids.
Maybe.
But,
actually getting something out of it this time.
But, I don't know. Even if it was Lancel, it wouldn't be Lancel because she's got to play it up as soon as he gets back. She's not going to take her time to get laid before she goes see her dying husband.
For the knowledge that I know that she has to play a certain part, I agree with you, but because it's Cersei Lannister and she fucking hates him, I think she would. Like, she's not, I know she's not going to.
She's supposed to be the grieving wife. She's
Yeah.
going to find out, pretend she's crying, and go running off to his bedchambers.
No. She's not the grieving wife because the day that he dies, she's wearing a seafoam green dress with lace on it. She's not even wearing the color of mourning like everybody else.
We were talking about that too.
Yeah.
We'll get to that chapter.
Yeah. Not this chapter, by the way, guys. Spoiler alert.
That's our next
That's our next
chapter.
Yeah, the next Ned chapter. She's wearing a fucking green dress.
King Robert
white with green trim.
Yeah.
Green with white trim.
Yes.
Trim. So, King Robert kicks everybody out and demands Ned to come,
take down his last will and testament.
Yep.
Yes.
Get the pen and paper.
Yep. After he refuses to take the milk of the poppy, he says, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yep. Little Milton Berle.
Yep, since that's, not far off, and he knows it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely knows he's dying, so he wants Ned to take down his last words.
I think it's also hilarious that Robert literally just says, fuck you to Ned.
Yeah.
He's like, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to be such a stubborn asshole?
Fuck you, Ned!
Yeah, fuck you, Ned!
Yeah, they're definitely buddies. You
Yeah.
can tell. Fuck you, Ned!
Before he asks Ned to write his words, he takes pen and silver, choosing to have Daenerys murdered.
Yes.
And feels bad for it and is remorseful.
Well, he thinks that that's the reason he got gored, is because he tried to have her killed, so the gods took justice on him.
Yep.
Try to kill a child, you motherfucker. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. So
maybe he
his mind.
thinks if he changes his mind, they'll spare his life. But he knows
I think he
he's
just wants to right the wrong. I think he understands that Ned was right.
Yeah.
Well,
and that he just wants to right that wrong.
Well, he says as much. He says all his counselors, of all the people that he had in counselors, the only person that ever said anything that made sense to him was Ned, even though he wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But everyone gets remorseful and thinks more clearly when they're on their deathbed.
Yeah, deathbed confessions, yeah.
So.
I'm going to put that with the lack of blood in the body, it's all going to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first time in a guy's life, all the blood is going to the correct head.
So he's thinking more clearly? Because there's enough oxygen running up there?
There's finally enough oxygen up there, not to the lower head.
Or he's afraid that he's going to meet his maker and wants to clear his conscience.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we can go with that too.
So he says, save the girl, save the child.
If you can.
And take down my last words.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So here we go. Ned Stark.
What's this?
Man of unlimited honor.
Yes.
Never does anything
wrong at all.
And this is strike one. For this chapter.
Well, the other things aren't dishonorable. This is the only dishonorable thing. It's also a dumb thing.
What about getting married to somebody else while he was already married?
Well, did that happen in this chapter there, Stephanie?
Oh. I thought you were talking about the other shit.
No, we said in this chapter.
Oh. Apparently I zoned out a little bit on that part.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, he starts to take down the king's word. I love this part. He's like,
yeah, I do too.
I, Robert, the blah, blah, blah of the blah, blah, blah. You know the
all
words.
Fill them in.
You know the words.
Yep.
Robert House of Baratheon, first in my name, blah, blah, blah. Fill it in.
Get this shit done with.
Yep.
King of the Andals and the Roynar, the first men.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, I can't blame him, because it probably literally, with, that amount of, open woundage and everything, it probably has to hurt just to take a breath to talk.
Well, it's probably all of his remaining time left just to say those words.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah, so he's afraid.
So Ned fills in the words, and then he says, I hereby name Eddard Stark, Hand of the King, to be regent and protector of the realm until my son Joffrey comes of age.
Asterisk, subtext, my true heir.
To which Ned simply ignores my son Joffrey and replaces the words with my true heir.
Yep.
Ned Stark, the Hand of the King.
Big honor.
Ned Stark has just taken it upon himself to secretly and underhandedly change the will and testament of the king to suit his own needs.
Yep. I have a feeling if he had written it the way Robert wanted him to, the next Eddard chapter wouldn't have gone as it went.
No, it wouldn't have. I have a feeling that if he had listened to a different person later in this chapter, the next chapter might not have gone. The next chapter might not go the way it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
You actually didn't have something to say to that.
No, because it's fucking true.
Shady motherfucking Ned Stark.
Yeah. And he thinks about telling Robert what he knows, but why doesn't he?
Because he doesn't want it to pain him even more on his deathbed.
Yeah, he knows Robert's dying.
Yeah.
Despite what he says later, where the king might survive.
Yeah.
He knows Robert's dying, and he doesn't want Robert to go to his death with that as the last memory of his life.
The last that all of his children
are not his.
His. That the people who he's been raising are not his, and that his wife has been that unfaithful to him.
To know this horrible truth.
Yeah. So Ned's trying to do something nice by not telling him.
Right.
But then he goes behind his back and writes not his words.
Right.
Yes.
But at least he feels bad about it.
He does feel bad about it.
He feels soiled.
I feel like he would...
If he didn't feel soiled, then he'd be a monster.
True. But I feel like if he had told Robert, or had the chance to tell Robert that Cersei did not have his children, had Jaime's children, and I mean, Robert probably would have had them all murdered.
Oh, hell yeah.
Definitely.
That's why Ned warned her in the Godswood.
Because
to
Ned doesn't want
run away!
To die.
Yes, he doesn't want the innocent kids to die because they don't have a part in this. It's not their fault that this happened. But I feel like if he had known that, and Ned had had a chance to tell him that he wouldn't be upset about Ned doing this. Because it would be true. Because then he would also know. He would say the same thing. That he'd be like, well, whatever fucking heir I have is the heir that's going to be...
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But Ned's doing it underhandedly.
Although Robert would also fucking tell him, don't make Stannis the goddamn king, Ned.
Renly's fine.
Renly's aight.
I like Renly. Renly's cool.
But even if King Robert said that, if Cersei got the letter the next morning, she'd still just rip it up, and it'd still be the exact same as it's going to be.
Well, yeah, but the king can also actively change his succession, too. Like, the king that's living, like, if he knows that his next in line sucks, he can make the active choice to choose his successor.
He did, but you can see Cersei does not let him.
Yeah.
Because the king's dead, so his words don't matter anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It's a piece of paper.
Because they've already got a king.
Yeah.
But yes, the king can choose who succeeds him. However, the rightful heir will go to war over that.
Yes.
And when it comes to succession, go ahead.
Which is Stannis.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to succession, yes, you can have all the decrees in your favor. You could actually be the rightful heir, or you could be the one that the king picked. But when it comes to that, might makes right.
Whoever wins the war wins.
Right. Yeah. So, I have a feeling that if it came down to it, Robert would pick Ned.
Oh wait, he
probably
did pick
as
Ned.
a punishment.
He would.
He did pick Ned. He said, "You're going to hate it more than I did, but you'll be better at it than me."
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll do good at it. Well, he doesn't pick him as the king. He picks him as the protector of the realm
and
the region
Yeah.
until Joffrey is of age.
Which is going to be 4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
In which time they can decide what to do with Joffrey. As we'll learn later.
Yeah. Except they don't do anything with Joffrey, because Joffrey does something with them.
Joffrey takes it upon himself to be the king.
I am the king!
And he's such a fucking brat about it.
Yeah.
But that's for another chapter.
Yeah.
So, Ned writes down Robert's words, almost.
Yeah.
And then, most of his words.
And then says, okay, we need to involve more people in this conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get some people in here to witness the sealing of the document.
Yeah.
So they invite Renly back in, they invite Sir Barristan back in, and
they watch the king seal it with his yellow
wax and stamper, so that way it can be verified that it's the king's and not been tampered with. And so, at this point, Ned and Renly head on out.
Oh.
Well, first Varys is there. First Varys comes in.
We missed another important thing, which I'm surprised. I have a note about this that's not here.
Well, she remembered it.
I remembered it. We have a very important confirmation in this chapter also.
What's that?
Of Maya Stone. Because
she was confirmed in this chapter.
She was confirmed because we suspected it because they say that her they always allude to it in the other chapters, but then they actually specifically say
Maya in the Vale.
Yeah, that then he remembered the bastards like Bara and Maya in the Vale. So he very actively confirms that Maya is in fact
a Baratheon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because he goes, well, take care of my children for me, Ned, and he knows that he's talking about those three, and he goes, I shall guard those children of yours.
Yeah, Maya and Bara and Gendry.
Yeah. Is it Gendry or Gendry?
I say Gendry just because I don't like Gendry because it sounds like too much like gentry. Like the southern gentry.
I like Gendry better, too.
I like Gendry better.
No, doesn't matter.
And Roy Dotrice says Gendry in the books. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I'll go Gendry.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do it either way. Just like there was questions on how to pronounce ASOIAF.
That was hilarious. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter. Okay.
So yeah, we get confirmation of Maya Stone. Ned's gonna look out for Maya and for Bara and for Gendry.
And he says, "Promise me, Ned.
Promise me, Ned. Promise me you'll look after the children."
And
with his blue eyes.
He's just got Lyanna running through his mind.
Boom, straight to Lyanna. Promise me, Ned.
Yep. And then he tells her, that when I see Lyanna, I'll give her your love.
Yes.
Because, Robert knows he's gonna fucking die.
Yes.
But he's also super happy that he finally gets to be with Lyanna again.
True story.
Yeah. He says, will I dream?
Except for Rhaegar's already there with her. 7 hells.
Awkward.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe
awkward.
she wants to get spit roasted. You never know.
Maybe. I mean, here's the thing though. If he dies, or when he dies, and they all meet up again, Rhaegar and Lyanna both died as these young, beautiful people. Does he die and go back to looking like Renly does now, or like how he was when he was younger, or does he die and he stay looking exactly how he is?
I'm going to assume he stays looking old and fat.
Okay.
And that when Renly dies, then Renly shows up looking like Robert used to look, and Lyanna's like, ooh.
Ooh, my.
Ooh,
and then
my.
Renly looks over and sees Rhaegar and goes, oh, my.
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious.
And then Robert's just kind of like, well, fuck.
You're all dead, so it's not like it's gonna work anyways.
Exactly.
Fine, I'll wait for Catelyn to get here.
Oh,
God.
No.
At least you can't talk.
Oh, that's true. Fair point.
Yeah.
Maybe in the
all I
afterlife she
can
can.
imagine
No, but I'm imagining it like Beetlejuice, where they all go to death looking exactly how they died.
I was thinking, don't they do that in Stardust?
I don't remember. Varys decides to ask what
Ned leaves the room to let Robert sleep.
Yeah,
and Robert's like, somebody make it warmer in here first.
Yeah, and they run into him, Renly, and Sir Barristan run into Varys.
Renly's not there at that point. Ned walks out of the room. He's walking to Sir.
Talking to Sir Barristan.
Yep,
Sir Barristan's like, "Oh, it was my fault," and Robert's like, "No, Robert even said it's the fucking wine."
Yeah, and then Varys
just like
sneaks up.
Yeah, and like just like says something, and it's like, "Oh God, who are you?"
And Varys just like fucking teleports right there.
Like I could just see Ned like jumping, and like, "Oh God, there's something behind me,"
Yeah.
and then like slowly turning, and like Varys is just right there with his powdered face, like, "Hello."
Yeah, because Sir Barristan says that he was already drunk before he got off his horse.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Varys goes, I wonder who gave him that much wine.
Yeah, from his own skin.
Yeah.
And he's like, certainly more than one.
Well, if he was that drunk, it would definitely be more
Sir
than one.
Barristan's like, oh, he always had a fresh one whenever one ran out.
Except not in the show when Lancel's sitting there and he's like, more wine. He goes, it's empty.
So he had to go get another one.
Yeah.
He had to go back to the camp and get another one.
But yes, so yes. Lancel was always right there with a fresh skin of wine, and Varys is like, "Oh, what a tremendous young boy to ensure that his grace was never without refreshment."
Which I mean,
what a good little boy.
Well, that's his
job.
He's all like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. Sir Lancel getting the king drunk,
but like. Who was Lancel as a squire to tell the king, oh, well, you already went through 3 wineskins, I'm not getting another one.
He's not going to, but the Lannisters had control over the wineskins, so they encouraged his drinking, which made him more drunk than he normally would have been.
I know, but he's always drunk all the time anyway.
But this is Varys pointing out to Ned that, oh, look, the Lannisters were directly involved in what happened here.
Yeah.
Because they want to make it look like an accident, and if... You can't save him from himself if he's that fucking drunk.
Right.
He's that fucking stupid. Like the time that he tried to go into the joust, being fucking blitzed off his ass.
He wouldn't go into the joust. He went in the melee.
I can almost guarantee the squire was being a good squire. Sir, would you like some more wine?
I think Lancel was unfortunately a pawn, and Varys.
Well, he's absolutely a pawn because he's a Lannister, so he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, and he's just doing what he's told as a squire.
Well, that and, because you have to make sure the king's got his wine.
But then there's some other Lannister back there who's like, oh, here's the 5% by volume and here's the 40% by volume. Here you go, Lancel, here's the 40%.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, did I say 40? I meant 5.
Yep, exactly. And they're like, which one was it? Because they're trying to figure out which boy that went after the breastplate stretcher.
Oh, God. Right, which of the two went after?
Lancel, which is the one that Cersei ends up sleeping with later, right?
And is Sir Kevin's son,
which is
Tywin's own nephew.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Lord Varys is like just like laying this all out, like, oh, you mean Kevin's son? Tywin's nephew. How interesting is
look,
that,
all these
Lord
Lannisters. Yeah.
I just see like a neon sign above Varys' head in my brain right now.
Lannisters! Exclamation mark.
Yeah. It was the Lannisters.
Yeah.
Oh, Ned, how interesting. You should look above my head right now.
That should be the name. It was the Lannisters. That should be the name of the episode. I love this. Ned goes, certainly Varys had been young once, but I doubt he was ever innocent.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which maybe he was before he got his nuts cut off.
Yeah, and then he goes, now that you mentioned children.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
He goes, now that you mentioned children, he doesn't want Daenerys dead anymore. Go save her ass.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid those birds have flown.
Yeah, flown the coop.
Well, you'll do your best to fucking change it, or I will cut your head off, you fucker.
Yeah. And he bows and walks away.
Because I'm the fucking king now.
Yep.
And it's funny how all of them just know.
Yeah.
Well, they know Robert, and they know Ned,
Mm-hmm.
so they know Robert's going to put Ned in charge.
Right.
Because he's not going to let Joffrey...
He's not going to put Joffrey or Cersei in charge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, nobody's supposed to be putting Cersei in charge, as much as she wants to be.
Well, no, Robert could make her the regent.
That's true, but he hates her. So
absolutely.
He doesn't want to give Lannisters control.
Yeah, about the only other option that I could see, like, if Ned weren't there, then it would be Renly.
Yeah.
As the regent.
Yeah, and then Renly would fight for it like he should.
Yeah.
But, I know Robert's not dumb enough to give Cersei, because he does not want the Lannisters to have control over the whole country.
No, God, no.
What?
So,
yeah, who does?
He knows he's surrounded by Lannisters.
Well, the Lannisters do.
I mean, they do. And Robert's coming up to make them, like, the different fucking wardens of all sorts, like, all fucking sides of the goddamn continent.
Yeah, there's more lions in the king's house than there are stags.
But do you think it's a real problem that we have the Lannisters, the warden of the west, and the Lannisters, the warden of the east? Is that really a problem, Ned? You think?
Right?
Yeah.
just the Lannisters in control of half the realm's armies? Are you sure that's a problem?
Yeah, a little. Only a little bit.
I don't think my fingers can stretch apart anymore.
Yeah.
Let it.
Just a tiny problem.
Yeah, even arm's width isn't wide enough.
Only a little bit of an Essos-sized problem here.
Okay, so Ned's walking back to his tower, and Renly stops him on the bridge.
Yep, on the bridge.
Yeah, and says, "I need to talk. I need to talk to you in privately." Which the moat is full of spikes, which I think is really cool. So Ned sends his men away so he can talk to Renly in private, and he goes, "I can get you 100 men."
Yeah, I've got 30 of my own personal guard, and I can get another 70 men, so a total of 100.
And let's strike
in like 30 minutes.
Well, first Ned's goes, wait, what the fuck do we need all these people for? And Renly's like, are you dense?
Yeah, are you fucking that stupid?
Are you dumb, dude?
Kidnap children and take control of the country.
He's like, literally, you have to take control away from Cersei. Like, you can't just pretend that Cersei's gonna give up the power. Yeah. And Ned's like, well, she's an honorable person. She's totally gonna go by the king's wishes.
No,
Ned,
he says, the king's not dead yet.
Yeah, but then, like...
Well, technically, she is going by the king's wishes because Joffrey's in charge.
I mean, that's true, because he did say to have Joffrey be in charge, just not
now. For another 4 years.
Yeah. She's just skipping a part here.
Yeah.
She
wants the power for herself. She wants the power for the Lannisters because she wants to right, because I think it seems to me that Cersei's motivation is, right, she always wanted to be a boy. Right, so that way she could inherit the Lannister name and things like that. So what she's trying to do, I think, is, because Jaime's not going to do it and Tyrion can't do it because he's a little fucking demon child, is she's trying to enhance the Lannisters' position in the best way that she can for the future.
Because she thinks she's as smart as her father.
She certainly does think that she's as smart as Tywin,
I think at some point she thinks she's smarter.
That's true, too.
That is true, too. She thinks she's like the fucking coyest person of all slyness.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in the book, she's better than she is in the TV show. Ish, kind of, maybe.
I'm not gonna lie, though, in the TV show...
actually, in the TV show, she's better.
I say, in the TV show, when Tywin tells her, you're not as fucking smart as you think you are, I just sat there and was like, I love you. Thank you for telling her that she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. I mean, she's a great character, but not the best at playing a Game of Thrones.
No.
Yeah.
No. She's
But she
definitely
hasn't
not-
died
Better than
yet.
Ned, which I mean isn't saying much.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
so
she's still alive and Ned's dead, so.
right.
That's-
And at that point she's up against like a kindergartner in the Game of Thrones, so
Yeah.
not that hard to
Are
win
you
that
smarter
one.
than a third grader?
Isn't it 5th grader?
Oh, sorry, smarter
Could be
than a
fifth grader.
5th grader.
I think
It's fifth grader.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I just whatever. I thought it was. All right. So Ned's like,
No.
and Renly's like, you fucking fool.
You
So
and your
then-
honor.
Yeah. So then Renly's like, all right. Well then, and Renly just like beats feet out of fucking town. Like,
Yes.
gone.
all
All those people he was just talking about, he like sends out some lines and he goes, "All right, guys, we're gonna meet back here. We're gonna get the fuck out of here."
Yep,
We're
we're
done.
running
Like,
because
we're done.
Nope.
because they'll come after him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, "Town's going to shit. Get into new town."
Yeah.
Yep. It was smart of Renly.
This
Ned should have left
yeah.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
not just left, but Ned should have gone with Renly.
But the thing is, like,
Renly didn't invite him along.
No. Gone with Renly's plan.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah, he should have been like, you know what?
Because women will do anything once you kidnap the kids.
Even if he said, "All right, this isn't a bad plan, but we're not going to do it until Robert dies." Like, get your guys ready.
It's too late.
I know, but like, get your guys ready. We're gonna have this shit set together. Like, but I'm still not gonna do this while Robert's alive.
Yeah.
Like, but the moment he dies, fucking full go.
Yeah, have a
Like,
plan
even
set in
that would have
motion.
been better than just being like, nah, fuck off.
Well, no, because Cersei had her plans all set for as soon as he died, too. Because as
Yeah.
soon as he died, Joffrey sat on that throne.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
So,
And
and
took oaths of fealty from his counselors.
yep.
Yeah. Well, you had to wait until they got there from the council or the hands changed.
No, the swordsmen and everyone.
I know, but he
were-
said counselors.
Right,
So-
but I'm saying, like, his sword hands and everyone
Yeah.
were swearing fealty before the council
Before
got there.
they
Because
got there, yeah.
they knew the council was going to be a problem.
Yes.
Cersei knew the council was going to be
So
a
she
problem.
had to get everyone who can fight to swear
Yeah.
fealty to him first.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which is smart on her part.
Yeah. Very true. So then Ned finally makes it back to his house.
And he's like, you know who I need? You know whose assistance I need? I need some counsel from...
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger. Someone go get Littlefinger. Probably poor Tomard.
Which is really fucking stupid, because at that point he should have packed up the girls and he should have left early to get on that ship.
I know. Well, he goes, well, the ship's gonna sail this coming evening.
Yeah,
because it's like
but
3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, it's gonna come this evening.
They
Like,
should have still left
Yeah.
and gone and waited for the ship down at the
he
pier.
should have went to the pier, told the guy, you're leaving right goddamn now. Here's another, like, 50
Yep.
gold stags. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
And the guy would have been like, sure, cool, had a schedule.
Yep.
Like it.
Mm-hmm.
They're less likely to attack him on the water, so they
Mhm.
should have definitely left at that point, waking the girls up in the middle of the night and just gone.
Yeah.
Yep. So he tells Tomard that on his way, he doesn't want... Tomard's like, okay, so I got 10 men guarding your kids on the way home
Mm-hmm.
with some other guy in charge. And Portho or something like that.
Pyther.
Whatever.
Something like that.
And Ned's like, make it 20 and you're in charge, not him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on your way, take this letter that I just wrote to Stannis and drop it in Stannis' hands alone at Dragonstone.
Yeah.
And this tells Stannis that Robert's dying. By the time he reads this, he'll be dead.
Yep.
Yep.
That Joffrey is a bastard.
Yep.
So are Tommen and Myrcella. And that Stannis is the new king. And that he needs to bring his entire host down and take his throne.
Yep.
Yes. And literally take it from
Literally
Cersei.
take it. Yeah, literally take it. Might makes right.
Yeah.
What a
So
fucking
that's
idiot.
all set. The only thing that could go wrong is if maybe one of Ned's children rats him out to somebody else in another chapter or a couple chapters from now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. So that's all planned up. And then Littlefinger arrives.
Littlefinger's like, what up, bitch? I'm gonna sit myself right here in your comfy chair.
Lord Eddard, I see we have a situation brewing.
I
Yes.
see you are now regent.
Yep.
Or
You
at
are-
least
yeah, he's
going
like,
to be.
You're now in charge.
And he goes, well, who told you that? And he goes, well...
You just did.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, you just confirmed it. I just heard a suspicious rumor.
Varys laid the groundwork, but you just confirmed it.
Yeah. Because that's an idiot.
And he's like, God damn it, Varys.
Mm-hmm. So, and then he starts hating Varys more because Varys is spreading rumors.
Which aren't rumors, they're true.
Yeah.
And...
Littlefinger's playing games.
Oh, of course Littlefinger's playing games. The whole thing is Littlefinger's game.
I know.
Orchestrated from the beginning.
Yep.
And Varys' game.
Yeah.
And they're playing opposite sides of it.
Unfortunately, because Littlefinger's in it for himself, and Varys is actually in it for the realm.
Yeah. As much as he says he is.
Yeah. He's in it for the good of people who he used to be that are the children that get
Yeah, except he kills them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they outlive their usefulness.
I don't know what Varys
sort of happens.
What Varys is fighting for. I really don't. I know what Littlefinger's doing.
Varys is fighting for the realm overall, right? So not the individual dirt people, but like the collective people.
And if some kids have to die to make the entire place stay in peace and happy and keep everything in order, then, you know,
if you're
the few over the many.
You gotta crack some eggs.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, some bird's eggs.
Or little kids' skulls.
Same thing. Whatever. It's all good in Varys' hood.
His name was Porther.
Porther. Yeah. Portho, whatever.
Yeah. So he gets there. Littlefinger's there. He's hanging out.
And tells Ned that if he were smart, he would ensure that Joffrey takes the throne.
So then that way he can control Joffrey, make him into a better king, because if he puts Stannis on the throne, Stannis is going to out the council, and then
loses their job.
Outlaw whores.
Yeah, he's gonna
outlaw alcohol.
Yeah, he's gonna out the council and change everything, and the place is gonna be in complete and total chaos.
Yeah, but what
and
makes
no one
him
wants
think that Joffrey would keep Ned as hand?
Joffrey doesn't have a choice because he's not in charge.
Yeah, Ned's the regent.
So,
so Ned would essentially have the king's power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until Joffrey is 16.
But Joffrey would still be king.
It'd be more like the English government as it stands now, where Queen Elizabeth is just kind of figurehead, but the Prime Minister actually does everything.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So Ned would be the Prime Minister.
She's not necessarily a figurehead. She's actually she's the
head. She's got power.
She's the head of state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really make laws.
No, she doesn't make laws, but she's the head of state. She's like this. She's like the U.S. Secretary of State, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Like that. So, but there's someone more powerful in the way. So, and then Joffrey would have to learn from Ned,
right,
how to do everything.
Like, we'll have the council.
And Cersei doesn't want
Joffrey
him around
ward.
Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll make Joffrey his ward so that way he can raise Joffrey.
And then Ned would be like, Cersei, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Which, by the way, if they named, I don't know, like, yes, Littlefinger's plan I think is good, except that if they were to do that, Tywin Lannister ain't standing for Ned being fucking the person raising Joffrey.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, not even a little.
Especially since Joffrey's 100% or 100% Lannister.
Yeah. although even Tywin doesn't believe it because he
believes it. He refuses to believe it.
He refuses to admit that his two children are incestuous.
Right, he knows they are.
Well, yeah, because it would ruin the family, because the only other child he has is the dwarf man that he can't leave everything to.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, so then Ned's like, dude, telling the hand of the king a bunch of treasonous shit right now. The fuck.
Yeah.
And
which Littlefinger's like
if somebody else had found this letter.
Yeah, he goes, you forget yourself, and Littlefinger's like, I did. I forgot I was talking to a fucking Stark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
like, not that I forgot what I was saying was bad or anything, but I forgot that you were too fucking stupid
to do what needs to be done.
Yeah. Like, to make them, to keep things how they are and keep things running smoothly.
Keep the status quo.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
To keep the Lannisters from completely taking over.
Yeah. Yeah. While they figure shit out while Ned's the regent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because while Ned's in here, like,
they could
trying to do the right thing,
Ned could legitimize
Cersei's
Gendry.
out there, like...
Would Ned be able to legitimize Gendry? And make his son...
yes, because he speaks with the king's power. So anything the king can do, Ned can also do.
Yeah, so he'd be able to be like, alright, Gendry, just BT-dubs. I like talking to you, my friend here. You are the son of Robert Baratheon. How's that sound to you? Do you think that you could follow me around for a couple years, learn how to rule, and then be king? Yeah?
Well, he's 18
what
right now.
What he needs to do is not wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
When the king dies. What he needs to do is get the council together in front of the court.
Mm-hmm.
Call the court into... I don't care if it's 3 in the morning. Call the court and the council
into
the throne room.
right now and have them open Robert's letter and say, when the king dies, if the king dies, we hope he doesn't, but if he does, these are Robert's last requests, his last commands.
Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with Cersei, nothing to do with Joffrey.
Yeah,
right.
At
this point.
Yeah, and I think it's frustrating that they can't break the seal until after he's dead.
They could.
They can't, can they? Because they specifically say this, that this was his thing to do, after he dies, we're supposed to open this.
But you've got to be smart enough to know that Cersei's not going to wait.
Yeah.
And that she's not going to be stopped by a little piece of paper. Because once the king's dead, the king's words have no power because the king's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's a new person who's assumed to be king already.
Yeah.
Because the fucking king is dead. So, you can't wait. So, yes, it's to be opened upon Robert's death. Ned knows Robert's dying, regardless of what he says where, perhaps he'll survive. No, Ned's not that dumb.
Yeah.
He knows Robert's dying.
He knows
so you call the court, you call the council, and you say, these are Robert's words.
Especially since Pycelle was he should have died on the way here.
Right, yeah. It's a miracle he's survived to this point.
Yeah.
He's a stubborn man.
Yeah. So, Ned just completely plays this all wrong.
Because he thinks that everyone has to do things with honor. His big flaw, his fatal flaw, is that he thinks everyone
plays the game with honor.
Yeah, plays the game
but
or just does anything with honor. I know,
he's a fucking hypocrite.
Because he doesn't, because he changes the king's words and he does other shit, but he wants everyone to be noble and honor-bound and whatever.
Do the best thing for the realm.
Yeah.
Which is not how it works.
No. He doesn't realize that
everyone does the best thing for them.
So he tells, Littlefinger's like, okay, fine, if you're not, so you called me here for a reason, it's obviously not my wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck do you want? Well, I need the city watch.
Yeah. I like how he's like, I will do my best to forget your wisdom.
Yeah.
He goes, you need to call me for wisdom. I'm gonna do my best to forget your wisdom.
Right, you mean your treason.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, Ned, why? And then goes through and tells him, listen, I know you love my wife. I know you got the hots for my wife. I've heard tell that you've been telling people you porked her in the past. So, under this circumstance of you having fucked my wife at some point, being wiener bros, that we fucked the same chick, I need you to do something for me.
Wiener bros, is that a thing?
Actually, it's wiener cousins who sleep with the same chick.
Anyway, so he's like, for the love that I bear Catelyn, I will indeed help you out. What do you need? Well, we need to buy off the City Watch.
Yes.
So he's like, okay, fine, 6,000 gold pieces, split among the commander, the officers, and the regular soldiers.
Yeah, which is like pocket change for Littlefinger.
Right, 6,000 gold pieces, whatever, nothing.
Because I can get it for less, but...
Yeah, I could do it. I could do it for half, but in a case like this, I really don't like to leave things to chance.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that he says repeatedly that the City Watch will do as whoever pays them bids them.
Right, but
which is something we're supposed to definitely notice. It's something Ned should notice that he doesn't.
Right. He's not saying that they're going to follow Ned.
He's saying they'll follow whoever pays them.
Right, because he's already told Ned not to trust him.
Yeah.
Multiple times, he's told Ned Stark not to trust him.
Was it this chapter, or was it another chapter where Ned goes, I don't trust Pycelle or Varys?
This one.
There's this one.
Yeah,
there's
he goes,
this one.
I don't trust Pycelle or Varys. He doesn't say, I don't trust Littlefinger.
Yeah! What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's specific, yeah.
It was because dumbass Cuntlin has fucking told him that he can trust Littlefinger.
Yeah, she specifically told him you can trust him.
Don't trust me.
You can trust him, even though Littlefinger's like, don't trust me, dude. He's like, don't trust me. And Little Cat's like, no, it's fine, just trust him. It's okay.
He's like my brother, but I fucked him once.
Well,
supposedly.
He thinks.
Yeah.
He thinks. It was like, Lysa? It was Lysa. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Lysa.
And then, but yeah, he's sitting there this whole time, and he's like, well, they'll follow the coin. And then Ned's like, well, you pay them. So it's like, he's like, alright, if they're gonna listen to me, I'm gonna tell them to do some shit. They follow the man who pays them. He leaned back and looked Ned fully in the face, with his gray-green eyes bright with mockery.
Yeah.
Well, he is a mockingbird.
He is a mockingbird.
I don't know if Ned's too stubborn or too prideful or too much in grief to realize what the fuck is actually going on.
He thinks because he's making this plan with Littlefinger, that Littlefinger is going to honor the plan.
Right, because he thinks, okay, well, this way Littlefinger can keep his job.
I'm the hand of the king. I am the regent and the protector of the realm. Littlefinger has to listen to me.
Littlefinger obviously is going to honor that.
Yeah.
Obviously, because wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
Because Littlefinger showed Robert so much respect while he was alive.
Oh. So much drama.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Oh, God. No.
So,
we're almost there.
And that's pretty much where we leave it. Where Littlefinger's like, yeah, sure. I'll get the City Watch to follow my orders, and
we'll be there for you, man.
We'll be right on top of that. I'll get you 100 men, and we'll be all good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question, though. Was the dagger of any freaking importance in this chapter? Because they made a point of Ned putting it on his belt when he left.
Yes.
And they made a point of it being on the table and Littlefinger playing with it
when
they were talking about the City Watch.
Thank you for bringing it up, because, I wanted to bring up something about this, because, so, just in the last Ned chapter,
yes,
Ned was dressed in black and white in the shades of gray, all the shades of truth.
Yes.
And yet, in this chapter, Ned is commenting to himself in his mind how it was the thin line that separates the black and the white, truth and the lie.
Yeah.
There's
thin line, huh?
No shades of gray.
Yeah.
It's the edge of the blade that separates the truth from the fiction.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
No shades of gray.
So which one is it?
Right.
That's what we have to find out. The last sentence in this, Littlefinger picks up the dagger and hands it to Ned, hilt first.
Well, yeah.
Which is
the proper way to hand somebody a knife.
It's the proper way to hand somebody a knife, but it's also, it's a symbol of trust, which I think he's trying to instill with Ned. Like, I'm handing you this not blade first because I want you to trust me that I'm going to do this.
I'm not trying to cut you.
Well, he also knows that Ned's not going to attack him because he thinks he's on his side.
Well, yeah, but
I look at more like where the Native American tribes would get together and bury the hatchet.
Yes.
Right, bury a tomahawk together.
Yes, because,
to end a war, to create a peace. And that's what I look at with
That's where the bury the hatchet comes from.
Yes, that's where bury the hatchet comes from. But this dagger that was used to attack Ned's son and start this whole fucking fiasco.
Yeah.
It's kind of symbolizing Littlefinger with a peace offering to Ned.
Yeah.
In a let's come together to solve this problem.
Which they're really...
And Littlefinger's going to solve the
He's
problem.
playing a game.
Yeah.
He's playing Ned, but in Ned's mind, this is a peace offering. This is let's come together, we'll symbolize it, I'm handing you this weapon to symbolize the peace between us.
Yes.
And Ned, of course, being the Nediot that he is...
takes it.
Chapter title, Nediot.
No, I've got another one.
Well, we'll have to be voted on, but...
I think mine's more punny.
Well, whatever. We will find out.
We'll find out. I'm just saying.
But, so, I think that's what that symbolizes.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, that it's the knife that was used to start the whole problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Which happens to be Littlefinger's knife.
Yeah.
Too bad the parents never find out what happened.
Well, they probably should have fucking, not dicked around for this long.
Also, it could be a symbol of giving Ned Ned willingly accepting the downfall of the Starks.
That makes more sense to me.
Right, because this is the knife that brings down the Starks.
Yeah. And I'm going to hand it to you.
Ned is willingly accepting it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ned willingly accepting the circumstances that bring the downfall of the Starks.
Yeah, and that's why fucking the Starks, or the Kings of Winter are fucking pissed at him. That's why they're pissed. They knew this was going to happen. Right. They saw this happening a mile away.
Right. We know Ned. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he has our blood in him. We know how dumb he is.
Yes.
Only after we die do we figure it out.
We've all been there, unfortunately, which is why we're here in the crypt.
Some of them died of old age, though,
Not many.
Yeah, I would say
I said some of them.
Like 2.
Probably
2.
more than 2 over 8,000 years.
4. They're Starks. They're not smart.
8,000, give or take.
She said 4. I thought she meant...
No, 4 people.
Okay.
All right, so that's where we leave off. I mean, that's the end of the chapter.
That's a long-ass chapter.
Yeah, it's a long-ass chapter.
Yeah, it is.
Long-ass discussion. It's going to be well over an hour, because there's a lot of shit to get through.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we need a title.
We do need a title.
For the chapter.
And you put out Nidiot.
Nediot.
The
Nediot.
I had one somewhere in the middle. I don't remember what it was.
You didn't jot it down?
No, I don't have pen and paper.
That's usually why I have them, but I don't have them with me today.
What was your idea?
My idea is Stark Wisdom. Because he very blatantly refuses the wisdom offered to him. And he's a Stark, so he's dumb. Stark Wisdom.
I prefer the Nediot.
We already... Well, I mean... That's like
said
no. What do you got?
I'm trying to see if I can remember it.
Yeah, see if you remember it. Because I think it's the only one I came up with for this.
I Tusk, you'll do the right thing. King Tusk's Curse. Instead of King Tut's Curse.
I like that.
King Tusk's Curse.
I like it.
I like that one more. Yeah, King Tusk is good.
King Tusk's Curse? Okay.
Yeah.
We will do King Tusk's Curse. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right. So before we forget, let's thank our awesome patrons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our kick-ass patrons. If you'd like to become cool like our patrons, you can head over to patreon.com/ironwood, where for as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to all the episodes.
Indeed.
You can get you can hit the show Raw Dog.
Yeah.
With the uncut, unlistenable versions.
Sure.
If you really want to
if you really want.
Yourself.
Don't know why you want to do that.
Want 3 hours of this one, man, feel free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And if you... Well, I told you the episodes these were going to be long because they're big chapters. And we're almost at the climax of the book.
Yeah.
We're just edging it right now. And for $5 a month on Patreon, you can join us for an episode to discuss a chapter that you like or don't like, or just a character that you like or don't like.
Any chapter of your choice, or, well, no.
Other than that, you can find us online at our website, IceAndFirePod.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can catch us on the Twitters. I am at Maester Ironwood.
I am at Widow Wolfsbane.
And I'm at Lady_Wyvern.
Bam. You can also find us on YouTube. Search out the Ironwood Network. You can find us on Facebook. Search out the Ironwood Network. Or, as Widow would like to remind us...
We have an Instagram account?
Nope.
Oh.
What do you always say?
Oh, you can find us anywhere on any social media platform with #IceAndFirePod.
Bam. There you go.
So she says whatever the hell.
Which is also the name of our Instagram account.
Our next chapter is... John, chapter 5.
I believe.
It's a good chapter.
John takes his vows.
What?
Word.
He becomes a man.
Becomes a man of the Night's Watch.
Still smells a little green, though.
As does Samwell.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
We also find out that Samwell's actually going to graduate, too. Ooh. Congrats, Sam.
So, I think congrats, John.
Yes.
That's the only reason Sam's graduating.
That's true, too. Congrats, John, twice.
So, until we catch you guys next time in John 5, have a good one.
See you later.
Guys.
Bye.